Good evening and welcome to this edition of The List on EWW-TV. I'm Dominic Ottens alongside Corey Moen, and for the next few minutes we'll present our top 5 sports stories of the week and discuss why they made the top 5. Did your top 5 make our list? Let's find out. At number 5, former number 2 overall pick Mitchell Trubisky signs a 1-year deal with the Buffalo Bills. Now Corey, will Trubisky able to improve his skills by watching Josh Allen from the sidelines?
Dom, yes, because Mitchell Trubisky got drafted into a bad situation by the Chicago Bears. His coach didn't trust him, his GM didn't trust him, and it was a complete organizational failure by the Bears. Mitchell Trubisky should be a high-quality backup for the Buffalo Bills.
I do agree that he will be a high-quality backup for Josh Allen, and I think this may be the break that Trubisky needs. He didn't have the necessary tools, like you said. His head coach didn't necessarily believe in him. His GM didn't necessarily believe in him. But he still was able to compete for a starting job with Nick Foles when they signed him last season. He was benched for a couple games, but Nick Foles didn't provide what they needed, and they relied on Mitch again. And there were certain situations where he showed up and proved that he can be a quarterback that can play in this league. Now, with the heat off of him, with the spotlight being off of him for just a little bit, I think that this is a very good time for Mitchell to just kind of work on his skills and continue to learn from a young quarterback. Now, I don't think we're going to see him much with the Bills because Josh Allen is a young and healthy quarterback, but we'll see what happens in the next year.
At number 4, the Houston Rockets extend their team losing streak to 20 straight games. What has caused this massive losing streak to unfold?
Corey, I think I'm just surprised as a lot of other NBA fans, and I didn't see this one coming. They have some pretty star names like John Wall and Victor Oladipo, and nothing's coming from it. In fact, they're losing, and they just continue to lose. And they have all this talent. So my question is, what isn't working here? In my opinion, I think it's the coaching. I mean, you have this talent. Now it's your job to put that talent together to get pieces to work, and that's not happening right now. Either someone needs to be traded away, someone who can work better in a team environment, or they just need to get some new people on the coaching staff because clearly what they have working right now is not working at all.
Dom, the Rockets knew this was going to be a rebuild. After they fired Daryl Morey, Mike D'Antoni, traded away Russell Westbrook, and traded away James Harden, the Rockets knew this was not going to be a good team. John Wall and Victor Oladipo are high-quality players, but they're not the type of players that can consistently win you games. These players are the type that are good rebuilding players, but not the type of players where you can rebuild the whole team around.
Now, I know a lot of people criticize John Wall, like you said, and he is still a guy that has talent. I see that he still has the potential. He's not at the end of his NBA career yet. He still has a lot to offer. But Russell Westbrook obviously wasn't getting a job done because they traded him away for John Wall, and it was something that I know that they were putting a lot of their faith and hope in. But again, this just isn't a piece that's working for them right now. So either John and Victor are going to have to make changes and talk with the coaching staff, or there is going to have to be a change with the coaches themselves. But we'll see what's going to happen with them, if they can get on the winning streak or not later on in the season. But we've got more coming up on the list, including LaMelo Ball's season-ending injury. So we'll be right back.
UWW-TV has been an important part of the campus and community since 1980.
Not only providing on-air learning opportunities for broadcast journalists and electronic media production students,
but educating and entertaining our audiences with award-winning news, live sports coverage, original programming,
as well as dedicating the mission to developing creative collaborations throughout campus.
For more information, visit our website, our 24/7 stream, and like us on Facebook.
Check us out because you gotta see what's on UWW-TV. The James R. Conner University Center on UW-Whitewater's campus is a gathering place for students of various cultures, backgrounds, and lifestyles. The UC is a great source for information, campus tickets, meetings, entertainment, food, gallery exhibits, workshops, and all of your hot card needs. Whether you're looking for a place to study between classes or just a place to hang out with friends, the UC is the place for you. For more information on the UC, please visit uc.uww.edu or go to facebook.com/uc.uww.
Practicing social distancing is imperative to maintaining safety in the residence halls this year in lounges and common areas. For kitchens and laundry rooms, we have capped occupancy at 2 students in these spaces at any given time. Students will not be allowed to wait for their laundry in the laundry rooms, and if 2 students are already in the space switching laundry, please wait outside for one to leave. We ask that those using these spaces are efficient with their time, so all students have the option to use the common areas as needed. We thank you in advance for your cooperation.
Welcome back to the list on UWW-TV. Let's continue the countdown to this week's top sports stories. At number 3, the Rookie of the Year frontrunner LaMelo Ball fractured his right wrist, which may leave him out for the rest of the season. How devastating is this for the Hornets and for LaMelo's chances at winning Rookie of the Year?
I think these are 2 different ways that you can look at it. So, looking at his chances of winning Rookie of the Year, those haven't been hurt much. He's putting up 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists a game as a rookie, and he's leading all rookies in almost every category. Now, this is something that not every year. I mean, like this is a once in a lifetime rookie that we're talking right here. I mean, obviously he still has a lot of his career to go, but this is a special talent. This is a special player. And I think this is going to hurt the Hornets' chances of making the playoffs very much. This is a guy that went from the bench to starting, and they became more reliant on him. This is the energy that they needed, and so with this gone, they're going to need to readjust.
Dom, this won't affect his chances. This will not affect his chances at all. Look, the Hornets don't have, or there hasn't been anybody any rookies this year who have been really that stood out to me at all. And LaMelo, I think, has played enough games to where he's shown that he should be Rookie of the Year.
Now, I think this you can compare the kind of 2 Ball brothers here to kind of help emphasize a point. I mean, like you look at Lonzo and how he entered the league, and he was very sought after, but he wasn't the talent, and he wasn't as eye-catching as LaMelo is. So I think LaMelo has the Rookie of the Year locked in for him. But moving on to our number 2 story, the NCAA tournament is underway, and upsets keep on coming. Loyola Chicago takes down Illinois, Ohio State falls to Oral Roberts, and Iowa is eliminated by Oregon. Out of all the upsets here, Corey, which one was the most surprising?
Dom, it was Loyola Chicago against Illinois. Look, Loyola Chicago made a Cinderella run 2 years ago. They were able to make it all the way to the Final Four. And I think this year's team was like completely different. They were a couple years ago, they were completely dominated by a good guard play. Now it's like they have a very good center. And Illinois was like the popular pick to win it this year. They had Ayo Dosunmu, they had Kofi Cockburn, but unfortunately they were unable to get it done. And Sister Jean's magic in the NCAA tournament keeps on coming in March.
The Sister Jean magic is definitely taking over social media right now, and I love it. But my pick is definitely Oral Roberts over Ohio State. That was just a disappointment. Congrats to Oral Roberts for making the Sweet 16, but the Big Ten has just been a disappointment so far, and all these Big Ten teams going out is just confusing everyone, and you can basically just throw out my bracket right now.
Stay tuned. We'll wrap up this edition of The List with our number 1 story of the week right after this.
Warhawks know what it takes to become champions. At the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, our student athletes pursue excellence with a determination that inspires everyone on campus. Warhawks are smart. Warhawks are strong. Warhawks value service. We prepare our student athletes for life after college. The University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Come be part of the Warhawk family.
Turn us on. Flip them off. 91.7 WSUW.
91.7 is a student-run radio station serving the Whitewater area with a variety of original programs, live sports broadcasting, community events, and more. So turn us on 91.7 FM or stream us live at 917theedge.com.
UW Whitewater Athletics, a relentless pursuit of excellence across 22 sports, powered by a tradition of success. 20 national championships, 17 since 2002. 61 individual national titles, 24 National Athletes of the Year, 616 All-Americans, 115 Conference Scholar Athletes of the Year, 1,500 community service hours annually. Be a part of the tradition and join the Warhawk family.
In order to safely provide desk services, plastic barriers will be installed at all operational residence hall desks. Student employees will wear face coverings, and any lines that occur will be spaced out via visual markers on the floor.
And welcome back to The List on UWW-TV. It's time to reveal our number one sports story of the week. At our number one spot of the week, the Wisconsin Badgers fall to Baylor in the second round of the NCAA tournament after beating UNC in the first round. So what went wrong for the Badgers in the game against Baylor after dominating in the game against UNC?
Dom, I see parallels between the two games. So in the game against UNC, the Badgers shot 48% from three-point range. That's kind of a rare shooting night for the Badgers. And the game against Baylor, look, we just ran to a buzzsaw. Baylor has a very good defense. They had Davion Mitchell kind of took over the game for Baylor. And unfortunately, that's where the Badgers season ended.
I mean, what I've been saying all year, Corey, is the Badgers are just too inconsistent of a team, and the inconsistency showed here. There was just complete turnover. I mean, Brad Davidson scored 29 points and shot 5 of 7 from 3 against UNC, and then went totally cold in the game against Baylor. This has been a struggle that they just have not been able to overcome. And unfortunately, it came back to bite them. But best of luck to the seniors that are now leaving. They're very much a senior-led team, and best of luck in their next chapter. But with that, that'll do it for this edition of The List. We'll be back next week to talk more sports headlines. For Corey Moen, I'm Dominic Ottens. We'll see you then.